So if you had your personal doctor come up to you and tell you, I am sorry to inform you, but you only have from 24 to 48 hours left to live, what would you do the next day? This question was asked to me a couple of years ago when I was applying to a job. So in a job interview, you know, the typical questions you get asked, okay? So what is your experience? What's your salary range? What would you do if you only had a day to live? And initially when I got asked this question, I was a little bit annoyed, but I couldn't figure out why exactly. At that moment, I just felt like it was, had little to do with the data engineer position I was applying to. But anyway, luckily I did get the job for a while. So while I was there, it was not a deal breaker, but I did remember that it was like annoying and an annoying question, really. Why would you ask that? Like, I thought, do you want me to give you like some grandiosity level answer? I would just sell everything in 5 minutes and take off in a plane and travel throughout Asia, or say goodbye to my parents and my brothers, and just, it's kind of tricky for me. It triggered a lot of things, and that moment I could only think of, well, I mean, I would still go to the gym. Probably I would just make some phone calls, and I would still finish what I was initially planned to do. So it was a very boring answer, right? And I think in the end it was an okay answer. Like I said, I got the job. But yeah, years later, right, I am walking down the city where I live in, and I'm pondering about how I can live a more meaningful life, how I can, be really present, do all of these things that make sense to me, and live life on my own terms. And I think I figured out why it annoyed me so much. And I think it's because we live in a framework that somebody has designed to make us believe that we have to complete a series of actions in certain ways, and then once we do that, then we're like entitled to have fun, or allowed to experiment, or just be happy, if you want to just be super blunt about it. Now, I won't go into the specifics of that framework, because it can vary from country to country, can vary based on your age, on your gender, can vary for so many different factors. Society's expectations of what you should be and what you should not be is always changing, but I don't think we challenge that enough. And so I don't know. I feel like we should strive to challenge that more often than we do, because if you plan your life to be meaningful and the way that you wanted to live it, right? I think it shouldn't really matter if you only had one day to live, because essentially what you're doing with this question is like saying, you know what, I will be doing what I'm supposed to do, and then once, like 30 years from now, I retire and I just complete everything, then I can start actually living. And I think that's utter bullshit. That's a kind of a trap to think that you have to complete some expectations first, and then you're entitled to do whatever you want to do. And so I don't want you to fall into this trap. It's easy to just be lost here, and it's just well, yeah, I don't think it's fair to go that path, because you should live life in a way that every day helps you build up for your end goal, right? So no matter what happens, it's every day, it's such a small time frame. It's like a stepping stone. It's just a picture in your whole life's movie. And what are you gonna do if you can change one frame in a whole movie, right? You can't do anything. You have to put it in a way that, okay, if I can like start changing the next 10 seconds, the next 60 seconds, the next minute, then you can have a great scene, okay? And then if you transpose that to real life in terms of time, then you can plan 3 months, 6 months ahead of you, 1 year, and then your life can be completely different. But this question is, to this day, I think still bothers me a little, when I think about this question and how should I respond to it in the most accurate or professional way. The truth is, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to say. I just think that this fear of death sometimes, and understanding that it's inevitable, can be a good thing. It really can be, because then whatever we do with our lives sort of becomes more meaningful. The only certain thing is that we are only here for now. I mean, in the big schema of things, right? Think about how many coincidences it took for life to occur on this planet. You had to have a star, you have to have a perfect planet in the perfect distance orbiting from the star. You have to have a atmosphere. You have to have a big brother planet who takes up all the meteorites and bodies that are trying to destroy this little planet. You have to have a satellite that keeps the waves moving so that there's movement. You have to have a certain level of tiltness in the earth or in the planet. Let's just be general here, so that you can have the perfect temperature for carbon-based organisms to start emerging. And then once, among other things start happening, you can have unicellular organisms, which by coincidence they think, okay, why don't we just start cooperating together? And then we have multicellular organisms. Fast forward billions and billions of years, here we are, you and me today, and just going back a little bit in time, not that much, maybe a couple centuries, how many humans lived so that you can be here today? Think about your whole family, your ancestors. You don't have to go that far, just in the previous 200 years, right? 200 years, 300 years, how many people had to live for you in order for you to be here? So whenever you want to think about what you should do and what will be your perfect last day on earth, I just encourage you to not take it that seriously. Instead, think about the long-term vision of what your life should be. How do you want to be remembered? What are the things you want to do? What are the things you want to accomplish? How do you want to help the world and others? How do you plan to make an impact? Do you even want to be remembered, right? There's people that don't care for that fame or just being remembered, what's the legacy. It's entirely up to the individual to decide what's best. But for me personally, I do think I was born to make an impact, and this is also one of the reasons why I started this channel, trying to inspire people who don't even really know me, are not necessarily in my proximity of the physical circle, but I'd still be able to reach those hearts, right, through these modern tools. So it's a gift for me. I'm thankful again. I want to just quickly say and wrap up the video saying that I'm really thankful for everybody who's watching and supporting this channel from the beginning. Great things to come. I'm always planning what's next to come, and we'll have mini projects. I'm gonna include a mini video series, and so I have a lot of things in the backlog that will be included. I'm super excited to share with you guys as they come closer to full definition. So yeah, that'll be it for today. I hope that can be helpful and jump in the discussion. What do you think should be the perfect last day for you? If you have a perfect last day mindset, if you think that's a good way to approach life, let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys next time.